Teach me Java. I want to learn Java in 3 months. Give me the roadmap. Hello guys. If you want to build something like this locally, a coding assistant that can teach you how to code from scratch, this is the video to watch. In this video, I will show you how to set up a virtual coding assistant on your computer that can teach you how to code. Now, why would you want to do this locally instead of using tools like ChatGPT or DeepSeek online? The reason is that when you run this locally, the output is very fast and it's all local. At the moment, if you go to DeepSeek or ChatGPT, sometimes there are delays, no responses, or the server is busy because of overuse. I think if you want to run this locally, it's a much better option. By the way, this is the smallest model of DeepSeek, which can teach you how to code locally on your computer without you having to wait for anything. Everything will be on your PC locally, whether you have internet or not. You can run this offline and learn to code very efficiently. So, if you want to learn how to do this, keep watching this video and let's get started. The first thing we need to do is download LM Studio. Go to Google, type in LM Studio, and click on the first link. Depending on your operating system, choose the appropriate version. If you're using Mac, download the Mac version. In my case, I'm using Windows, so I'll go with the Windows version. You can even download this for Linux if that's what you're using. Once you've selected the right version for your system, click on Download and install the application just like you would with any other software. The process is very straightforward. Since I've already downloaded and installed it, I won't repeat that step here. But all you need to do is go to the website, download LM Studio, and install it. The second thing you need to do is, for your reference, type Ollama into Google and go to their website. Once you're there, click on Models, and then select DeepSeek. We'll be using the very first model, which is the Queen 1.5 billion model. The reason we're using this one is that it's the smallest model, so it runs extremely fast. I think you can run this on literally any computer or laptop. In fact, I've seen people running this model even on a mobile phone. So, we will actually be installing this model now. Here's what you need to do after installing LM Studio. Once you're done with installation, come back here and copy this link or name. Just copy it from here. Then, go to LM Studio and in the search bar, paste what you copied. This will help you find the specific model we need. You'll see the model listed there, and you need to download it. I've already downloaded it, but for you, it should show up as Queen 1.5b. Make sure everything looks good on the screen. You might also notice some details like offload supported, which means the model is optimized to work with your hardware, so it will run without any issues. At this point, you'll see a green download button. You won't see it on my screen because I've already downloaded it, but you will. Click on that green button to download the model. Once the download is complete, you need to load it. There will be an option to load the model right after the download finishes. If you're unsure how to do this, just go to the models section here, and you'll see all the models listed. Look for the 1.5b model, click on it, and then load it. That's it. Now you're ready to chat with this model. It's very easy and straightforward. Now, what I'll do is delete all these files I've created earlier, and I'll go through the process step by step again, so you can fully understand how it works. For example, I'll click on New Chat. Let's say I want to learn HTML and CSS. So here I'll type, I want to learn HTML and CSS. Next I'll click on New Chat again for another topic. This time I'll say, I want to learn PHP and MySQL. For the next one I'll type, I want to learn Java. Of course I'm just showing you examples. You can't realistically learn all these languages at once. First, you need to focus on one and practice it thoroughly. For instance, spend a month or two mastering HTML and CSS, understand the basics well, and then move on to something like PHP. So let me show you how to divide this process. For example, if I want to learn HTML and CSS, I'll make it as simple as possible for the AI to guide me. I'll type, I am 12 years old, which I'm not, by the way, but I'm doing this to make the AI explain things in the easiest way possible. Then I'll add, I want to learn HTML and CSS. Please teach me step by step. Now, I'll hit enter, and let's observe the thinking process. You can see how it's generating a response. Here we go. It starts with an introduction to HTML and CSS, gives you the basic syntax, and begins explaining step by step. For example, it explains that the home tag is used for headings, and the p tag is for paragraphs, like hello world. It's breaking down the basic structure and explaining everything quickly and clearly. The reason this is so efficient is that when you do this locally, there are no server delays or slowdowns that you might experience with web-based tools. Locally, it's very, very fast, and I think this is a much more efficient way to learn the basics of programming. You can pick up the fundamentals of coding here very easily and at your own pace. Okay, now it's explaining the body tags along with the h1 and p tags. It's also mentioning the form tag and even suggesting to add a title to the page, include some links, practice CSS, and create a small table with some data. So essentially, it's giving you exercises to work on what to do next. Alright, now let's say, what about Tailwind CSS? I know Tailwind CSS is a bit of an advanced topic, so we shouldn't jump into that right away. First, we need to master the basics of HTML and CSS. But the purpose of this video is just to show you that this model can handle everything. It can teach you programming very efficiently. Of course, I mean, the output is generated very, very fast. Let me hit enter, and now it's thinking again. This is part of its reasoning process. It's organizing its thoughts before answering. That's one of the beautiful things about this model. Even the smallest version of it thinks through its response before giving an answer. I haven't seen this kind of behavior with ChatGPT or other models, at least not to this extent. Now it's explaining the basics again. My question was about practicing with examples, and it's guiding me to create my own CSS. Let me check my question again. I'd like to learn Tailwind CSS. Let's see the output. Something seems a bit off here. Let me review the example it provided. Okay, now it's actually explaining everything step by step. You can see how detailed it is. Okay, so I really like to learn about Tailwind CSS. Let me check the examples it's providing. Yes, it's giving a step-by-step guide for Tailwind CSS. Now it's explaining Tailwind CSS in detail, things like return false and other concepts. As you can see, it's breaking down Tailwind CSS nicely. However, if you're just starting out, I recommend sticking with HTML and CSS first. What I've found to be the best approach is to create a new chat for each new topic. For example, if you want to learn Tailwind CSS, start fresh by typing, I'd like to learn Tailwind CSS step by step. Now it's thinking again. I believe it's better to use a new chat or tab for each different topic. This way, the explanations will be more focused and clear. As you can see, it's now giving a great explanation. Things like using the container class and setting MX values to center elements. Of course, you'll need to read through this and understand how it works, but here's the thing. Tailwind CSS is a bit of an advanced topic. You should only dive into Tailwind after you've learned the basics of CSS. Don't jump straight into Tailwind CSS without mastering HTML and CSS first. You might think it's not that hard, and it's true. It's not overly complicated, but it's still very important to spend time learning HTML and CSS properly. I'd recommend spending at least 3 months practicing and building projects with them before moving on to Tailwind CSS. So, as you can see, you can literally learn any programming language or framework with this tool. It's a fantastic resource for learning, and I think it's one of the best ways to improve your coding skills quickly and efficiently. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed this content and find value in videos about AI, coding, and improving your skills, please make sure to hit the like button. It means a lot to me when you engage with my content. It motivates me to create even more tutorials and share useful information. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I promise to keep bringing you high-quality videos with practical tips and insights. So stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.